Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 10th. This week, you start with this Wish Upon a Star card and this Grand Symphony card, which I love both of these cards. The Wish Upon a Star card says, make a wish. And the Grand Symphony card kind of says that you are getting to a really good place in your life. It is like everything is coming together now for you here, Virgo. So, it could be just really good, all the stuff that's coming up here for you. You start with the Two of Swords, the Death card, and the Two of Pentacles. Two of Swords is like not being able to see the future in some ways. She has this blindfold on her head, and she is, the blindfold in the tarot kind of represents needing to trust your intuition or needing to listen to your intuition. Intuitively, I get more of a feeling of like being on edge a little bit. So, even though your first two cards are very good, I feel some of you could be feeling a little bit on edge or uncertain at this time, especially as you are coming to this reading. The rest of the reading looks very good. So, I wouldn't really worry about it, but I just kind of get, really the best way I can describe how I feel is I feel on edge with this Two of Swords energy. And I kind of just feel it's like fear of the future is what I'm getting. Even right next to it, we have the Seven of Cups. And personally, I like the Seven of Cups, but the Seven of Cups can be a little bit uncertain as well. And so I just get kind of like uncertainty about the future with the Two of Swords, or a little bit more like being a little bit more concerned about the future. You have the Death card, and this is probably why. The Death card says that things are very different. The Death card, he is standing over the King here, and the King is dead, Virgo. So, kind of the King being dead on the Death card represents the fact that sometimes we think things are going to last forever in any area of our life, and then they don't. So it kind of represents the death of establishment, or the death of things that we thought would last for a long time in our life, and that can make our future a little bit more uncertain. So I kind of feel that's why I feel this energy here for you. Next, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is about needing to make progress. I always say that, he can represent progress, and I don't necessarily consider him to be a bad card, but he is the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move. Now, I read holistically, so I take the whole entire reading into account when I'm reading a card, so everything connected to the card. And you have very good cards connected to the Knight of Pentacles. Even you have a card of movement here and here. So I'm not too worried about this Knight of Pentacles energy. It's like maybe you have felt a little bit more uncertain or stuck recently, but I do feel that you are going to start making progress based off of everything that is going on in the reading, and you will be successful. So like I said, I'm not too worried about this, or I'm not as worried as I normally would be. Like if we had like the Eight of Swords here and the Seven of Wands and like the Devil, I would be much more concerned about that Knight of Pentacles. So let's see what is going on here. With the Two of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. I feel like you're recovering from like 10 years is really what I feel. I feel really for Virgo, this is long-term recovery that you are going through. So a lot of healing, a lot of growing, and I would make sure that you don't beat yourself up for the past as well. Sometimes I think as humans, it's like we kind of get into that zone where we start thinking about things that we did wrong in the past and we beat ourselves up for it. I feel like for that's what's popping into my head with the Four of Swords. And I feel like the Four of Swords is saying, like, in life, the only thing we can do is not repeat the mistake or not do whatever it is we did again. So, and that's the whole point of life. Like, if you don't repeat the mistake, you are winning at life. And so I feel like that's what the Four of Swords is really saying. Like, that's the type of healing that you're doing. With the Death card, you have the Justice card. Pretty interesting. Almost every single person so far, I've done about half the readings, and pretty much every person has had the Justice card. So we could be in a time of justice or balance, or, where we're balancing our energies out, which I think would be a great idea with the Justice card. You could also be getting like positive karma, I'm getting, with this Justice card as well, and the Death card. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Strength card. Yeah, I feel like you're finally ready to move forward. Sometimes with the Strength card, I feel that it says before the reading, like, before this time, you have been working on your inner strength, and now you have the strength necessary to make progress. She is taming this lion, And this lion represents like her inner critic or her inner demons, but she is the one that is in control of that inner voice. So I feel for a lot of you that you are ready to move forward because you have kind of developed the strength, like I said. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this helping hand card. It says the universe is helping you find something you need that will lead to your next steps. Really good. You have this Cancer card. It says nurture all that you love. It says take time to care for your well-being, Four of Swords, and nurture the things that you love. I think everybody needs to do this right now. Pretty much every single reading says this. So we are in a time of like heart-based energy, and if we really focus on growing things that we love, then everything else will fall into place. And of course, there could also be help coming in for you. You have the Seven of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Six of Wands. Seven of Cups is about being spoiled for choice. I do feel a little bit uncertain here. Again, a little bit uncertain about the future. But at the same time, like, I encourage people to do like what they can with what they got right now, with what's in front of them. I can even think of like, I have a buddy who's like just constantly worried about AI ruining his business. And I'm like, okay, well, that might happen, but you make a lot of money right now. So you need to like just keep doing what you're doing right now before that happens, right? So a lot of the times, I think we worry about things in the future that might never happen. And, maybe it won't, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it doesn't matter right this second. And that's kind of like the feeling that I'm getting off of the Seven of Cups is that, you could be worrying about things that, like, sure, maybe it'll be a problem in the future, but that means that you should be improving yourself as much as possible right now, and then maybe you won't even have to worry about it in the future. And so I get that whole, like, future worries type of thing going on here. The reading is good, but that's like your challenge, I feel, in this reading. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of marriage, of course. Not really a love reading, but, if you're in a relationship, I do feel that, this has been coming up for you for months. I'm pretty sure that if you're in a connection, it absolutely could lead to marriage in the future. For most of you, I feel the Four of Wands is talking about freedom. You have the Eight of Wands right next to it. The Four of Wands usually comes up when we are completing something. I always say this looks like a finish line, and we have to cross through this portal here on the card and get to the other side. So a lot of you could be like wrapping up projects or ideas or things you've been working on and kind of like moving on to the next stage of something, or you could be kind of completing a project and being set free, and that definitely pops into my head with the Four of Wands. Next, you have the Six of Wands. I'm actually going to show you here because we go Six of Wands, Eight of Wands to the Star, which is amazing. This right here, Virgo, could represent getting a lot of attention. It could represent standing out or, being a star. And I'm pretty sure I've been saying to you for months that it is definitely your time to shine, Virgo. I feel that whatever your skills, anything having to do with your skills is going to be very important. I really feel this has to do with your skills, which I've said to you a million times now. And so I feel that it's time for you to get attention for what makes you special or what makes you stand out or whatever the case may be. And I feel this could lead to a lot of victory in your life. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Five of Pentacles. I mean, pretty much exactly what I said. Five of Pentacles is all the excuses as to why you can't do something. Five of Pentacles. And so with the Five of Pentacles, fives have very easy solutions in the tarot. And the solution of the Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses, focus on your strengths. So even if there's only one good reason why you should do something, then you should do it. And the Five of Pentacles wants us to kind of like maintain our positivity and stay focused. With the Four of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords is a lot of clarity, and you could be gaining a lot of clarity in your life. We kind of go up here to the Ten of Wands. This direction would be doing things the hard way. And this direction would be kind of like being spontaneous and looking for better ways of doing things, which I pretty much encourage everyone to do right now. We have, Pluto and Aquarius, very innovative energy. Pluto and Aquarius is a time of rebellion. I think some people think rebellion is a bad word, but really it isn't. It could just mean that you are innovating your business, or you're coming up with a way to, if you're worried about AI taking over your business, maybe you're coming up with a way to use AI so that doesn't happen, right? And I think that would be a good idea. Is not AI, but just coming up with new ways of doing things. With the Six of Wands, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, this is needing to not get in your own way before you have a victory, basically. Four of Cups has been disappointed 3 times before, and now he's being offered a new option, but he is fearing that he is going to be disappointed if he accepts this cup into his life. Sometimes I think we get to a point in life where we try something too many times and we just don't even want to try again because we just can't handle the disappointment. I feel like this is saying, like, don't ruin something, not that you would, but, don't get in the way of something that clearly wants to be successful because of past disappointment, right? I feel like this is saying don't give up. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this purity card and this new beginnings card. Yep, I like this. I love this new beginnings card in the first place, but there definitely could be a very positive new beginning coming in for you, especially if you're like trying something again. It's like maybe in the past you tried to use a skill to build a business and it didn't work, or maybe you've been trying to grow on whatever you're trying to grow in life and it hasn't been working. This feel you're like discovering ways to make things work. And again, this other card, this helping hand card, said that this helping hand will lead to your next step. So again, don't give up. You have the Ten of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. The Ten of Wands is about carrying a heavy burden. The other thing that's popping into my head here is that if you do give up, it's kind of like those 10 wands, like you are very close to your goal. So don't give up now because you're very close. But also, I feel if you were to give up, you would be losing these 10 wands. These 10 wands are his harvest. And yes, he has been burdened. And if he makes it to his home, these are the rewards, the fruits of his labor that he will be getting. So, I am just getting, definitely in the second and third row are saying to me that you need to keep working towards something that you're thinking about giving up on, or maybe you're not, but, maybe you're just kind of like thinking like, okay, is this going to be successful? And the answer is yes, if you don't give up, if you keep pushing forward. Next, you have the Eight of Wands. So things are speeding up. And maybe things have been very slow, but the Eight of Wands is quick success or quick conclusion. So things are probably going to speed up very quickly for you. I always say, like, in life, it's like, it's very common for things to go like this. It's like you start doing something like a project, a business, and then you reach critical mass and things kind of shoot up. But, until you reach that point, things kind of look like they're just going sideways, right? It's like how I feel about YouTube. It's like YouTube is definitely that game. I see it happen all the time on channels where it's like they kind of have this slow start and then boom, they take off, right? Because they reach that critical mass. And I feel like this is saying don't give up on whatever you're working on before you reach critical mass, before you take off, right? Because all of a sudden things can change and all of a sudden things can blow up for you. And I feel that's what this Eight of Wands is really saying. You have the Knight of Wands. I feel like flexibility, being spontaneous, experimenting, trying new things would be very beneficial for you here, Virgo. You have this Grand Symphony card, and that card really says everything is adding up. All the work that you've done, all the things you've created are all adding up to this ultimate vision, which we see right here with the star. The star is your North Star, or kind of like your ultimate vision for your life, or that one big guiding light that you really want to accomplish. And so I feel this is saying, like, be flexible in how you get there. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Tower. Again, don't give up for sure. The good news here is that we have the Star after the Tower, which is exactly how we want things to go. So the Star represents healing from a Tower moment, and it also makes the Tower more positive. The Tower can also represent like a little bit of a change in how you approach something. So if you are feeling like you're not getting ahead, the Tower could say that, that you need to accept reality. So if you've been working on your business and there's just no growth, then the Tower says then you have to change the way you do things. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords. Definitely a victory. We have 3 victory cards here, basically. 6 of Wands, 8 of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. All cards of kind of like winning or having a victory. So things are about to speed up. The other thing about the Tower is that the Tower can say maybe you've been thinking about changing your approach in how you are going to accomplish your goal with the Star card. And, I feel this is saying it would be a good time to change your approach. The other thing about the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Wands, when these two cards come up together, this really represents laser-like focus. The Ace of Swords is my card of laser-like focus, Eight of Wands is about direction. We have to only point in one direction. We cannot be pulling in two directions with the Eight of Wands. So it's like if you're trying to accomplish something in work or business and you're focused on it, but at the same time, you're saying to yourself, this is never going to work. I'm not good enough. Five of Pentacles. I don't have enough. All that. Then you're pulling in the opposite direction. So you have to start aiming in one direction with that energy. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? And, I always say, I can't answer that question for you. Only you can look at your results and say, is it worth it or not, right? And so the Seven of Pentacles can definitely represent a change in direction in your work or how you do things. And, again, only you can determine whether or not it's worth it or not. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this connection card. It says, a special connection will open doors for your path. It may be a partner, a mentor, a client, or a helpful friend. You have this card that says a helping hand. So there is definitely a helping hand that will lead you to your next steps. I would stay open to people. You have this entrepreneur card. It says, as an entrepreneur, you will truly have an opportunity to discover yourself and all your potential. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, this is definitely a very good energy for you. You have the Star, the Fool, and the Page of Wands. The Star is about having a North Star, having that one guiding light or that one thing that you want to set out and accomplish. I kind of feel wish fulfillment here on the Star. Like, I feel like you could be, it's almost like something that you've been hoping for a long time is finally coming through for you here, Virgo. So I like it. That's very good. Also, it's good that it comes up after the Tower. It says you're healing from a Tower moment. You have the Fool. The Fool can represent taking a leap of faith, of course, and especially in the good stuff, this would be a good card for you to take a leap of faith in a direction. And the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Swords would be about really committing to the direction, like mentally, physically, with your actions. All those things add up. I always say we don't even have to be perfect. I think if we're just like 51% going in the right direction, even if we're 49% going in the wrong direction, then we will eventually reach our goal, right? Obviously, the more we can move in the right direction, the better. But the Fool says it's time to take the leap. You have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about going on a journey. The Page of Wands is going on a journey. He is going on an adventure, and I feel it would be an amazing time for you to go on a new adventure or go on new adventures in general. He also follows his enthusiasm, so the only reason he goes on an adventure is because he is excited about it. That's it. So if you are feeling excited about something, I would move towards it. With the Star, we have the Nine of Wands. I've been saying it this whole entire time. Do not give up, right? If you do not give up, you will accomplish your Star. Plain and simple. The whole entire reading said that to me in these two rows right here. I don't feel that all of you are feeling like giving up, but I just feel that it's this thing, right? It's like you've been working for a long time and you're like, when am I going to get the better result here? And I think that is the issue. So this is saying keep going because you're very close to taking off here, Virgo. And sorry, I just grabbed like 20 cards at once, so let me reshuffle that. But, again, I feel like this is saying like, don't give up on whatever you're trying to accomplish because you are very close. With the Fool, you have the Temperance card. Yeah, I feel you've been very patient. This would say your patience is being rewarded in the good stuff. And with the Page of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So we start and end with the Knight of Pentacles. Again, I think this is definitely a good thing. Having the Knight of Pentacles and having these cards of action and then ending with the Knight of Pentacles, because this would say that you are taking action. You have this Wishbone card that says a wish granted. There you go. The Star can definitely say that a wish is being granted in your life. You have this Dolphin card. It says financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. We've been talking about this thing right here. Again, obviously, if things have been slow and then things take off, you're probably going to be making more money, or you could be discovering a way to be more successful. So I definitely like to see this, but you could be, the whole reading kind of does say that you are getting results from the past, or, that your hard work is paying off. Next, you have this Happiness card. I feel like happiness is very important right now. I think we need to bring more happiness to the world. But also with the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Swords, again, the more you focus on the outcome you desire, the more likely it is that you're going to accomplish it. If you're miserable, then you're going to have a really hard time manifesting what you want. So I definitely feel kind of like correcting your mindset or keeping a more positive mindset would be a good idea here. You have this ear card. It says good news on it. Definitely could be receiving good news with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands, you have these two knights. Knights can be messengers. So if you've been waiting for good news or approval, or if you've been waiting for things to happen, if it wants to focus, then they're definitely, whatever, I give up. There definitely could be good news. You have this barrel card. It says you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Yes. Again, with the Eight of Wands, everything has to be in alignment. You have that happiness card as well. So if you feel like something is missing, go and get it, or create the energy in your life. We don't necessarily have to have something that we think is missing. It's like maybe you think love is missing. Then you could go practice the energy of love. You don't have to have a person. You can go love nature. You can go love your dog. You can love something, right? You can also just practice the energy of love, loving yourself, right? And so if something is missing, I would start with the energy, and then you will probably attract the thing with this card. But pretty straightforward stuff here, Virgo. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.